Well, the master and who were here, they were vetted by the Board of Guardians. That's what the law was for, was to stop them getting to them. Not to stop you in. If you were stealing, you were stealing. And all these, when they were caught, all the charges was stealing worked out clearly. Not the state.
Yeah, you can, but it's very cool down there.
Cold.
It's cool.
Oh, this album sales bill is 5 times the budget. Good. Anybody here?
Celebration. In fact, one of the story that one of the that they used it for corking ships. Take the bottom out of it, where it rolls in.
See what it's like.
My name's
So you can either go down.
Yeah.